Thanks for watching Luke Walks. I'm here in Chinatown in Bangkok and I've stopped for a little bit of breakfast. I'm stopped here at Ekteng Cookie. Now this shop has been around since 1919. Now I would be foolish not to order their speciality, which is the two-toast bread with coconut egg custard. So let's see what that looks like and tastes like. But I'm here today, it's actually part 2 of a Luke Walks day trip around Chinatown. You see, I've done quite a few videos about Chinatown. Oh, look it up. Iced. This is the traditional black iced coffee. Oh, that's good. That's really good. On a hot Bangkok day, that's perfect. I'm gonna get 2 of those. I like how they also come with a little bit of iced tea as well. That's actually quite common. The coffees come with an iced tea as well. And the concept is to balance out the bitter taste in your mouth. If you're a black coffee drinker like me, after you've had the wonderful coffee, the black coffee taste does linger in your mouth a fair bit. Now, in the day and age of COVID, where you have to wear masks, end up breathing in coffee for a long time. So I actually welcome this concept of having a little bit of iced tea afterwards to rinse away the coffee taste in my mouth. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of touring around Chinatown over the last couple of weeks. I've been doing a lot of research and learning so much. And I've created a series of videos, so you're welcome to check those out. I've also decided that because I've learnt so much, it's time to do kind of like a concluding video. So last week I started a video, and the concept is Luke's day trip, Luke's day tour of Chinatown. Now everything was going swimmingly until it started pouring rain. So it started pouring rain. I got stuck I found a little cafe just on the Chao Phraya River, and I got stuck there for quite a few hours. So I ended up creating 2 videos. So this is part 2 of Luke's Chinatown day trip. Hope you enjoy. So as I enjoy coffee number 2, whoops, leaked everywhere. All over my phone. Speaking of which, I've got my phone open. Today's tour, we're going to be exploring, where are we up to? We're going to be checking out some of the markets, famous Chinatown markets. We're also going to look at some of the important temples and shrines that are around this area. And also, we might finish with some fantastic Chinese food somewhere. So that's what we've got to look forward to today on Luke's day trip of Chinatown. So in part 1, we travelled around Talat Noi and looked at some of the artwork there. We also checked out, where did we go? Let me remind myself. Went to Hua Lamphong train station, Bangkok railway station, explored that. We also looked at Odin's Circle and China Gate, the famous China Gate, which is at the top of Yaowarat Road, which is quite a famous road. Now today we're also going to be looking at Song Wat Road and Ratchawong Road, which are quite significant roads in Chinatown's history, and even still today they're quite important roads. Last time we also checked out Wat Mangkon Kamalawat, which is famous for being the place where one of the princes was executed. We also looked at the world's largest gold Buddha at Wat Trimit, and we also explored Tien Ha Foundation, and the first Siam commercial bank in all of Thailand. So that was the last episode, and then my day trip got washed out. So I must say from the get-go, I'm going to give you a few tips on where to go in Chinatown and how to make the most of your day trip wandering around Chinatown. Don't feel compelled to stick to the plan, because one of the best things about Chinatown is just simply wandering around the streets. There's so much to see, so much to discover. Like this place here, just so many really cool little cafes. Unfortunately, I just had too strong coffee, so I'm not going to stop at the Rita. But there's so many character-filled places. So right next door is a place that's full of old dudes sipping tea and coffee. Plenty of Vespers in this town as well. I love Vespers. So just wander around. You'll see so many cool sights. Like here's another really cool old Vespa. So it's just a marvelous place. Chinatown's a marvelous place just to wander around and get lost and enjoy the sights and smell. Might want to buy a set of gumboots. Got everything here in Chinatown. It's a fantastic place. So back in the ye old days, streets were named after actually what the shops on that street, the service they provided. So I'm currently on the shoe shop street. So there's loads of places selling boots and shoes. And I'm a little bit annoyed because I got a pair of shoes that the sole came off. I wish I'd packed them in. I mean, they've been ruined for about 6 months now, and I've been kind of meaning to get them repaired. Shit, damn it, missed opportunity. At least now I know where to come exactly to get my shoes repaired, or to buy a pair of Wellington boots. I love these colour schemes of these shops houses here. Really marvellous. Tuk-tuk loaded up. So you actually get quite a few tuk-tuks around Chinatown, and they're actually mostly for delivery. So it's not kind of the tuk-tuks that you're used to around Khaosan Road, where they want to take you to the floating market, or those kind of take you to a tailor. So yeah, old Vespers and tuk-tuks, you'll see it. You'll have to get used to dodging when you wander around Chinatown. So as I mentioned earlier, this street here is named after the trade that they most offer, which is shoes. And when I get a chance, I'm going to sit down and I'll tell you about the names of some of the other roads around here and around Chinatown. But I've just arrived at where part 1 of this video ended, and it's at Urby, U-R-B-Y, and it's a really cool place. Up the top is a nice little cafe and a little pub as well. Like they sell cocktails and stuff, and craft beer even, and that's where my video ended last week. So this is where we're going to pick up the part 2 from here, and it is on the road called Song Wat Road. So I'm at Song Wat Road here. Now this road, a name literally means drawn by the king, because back many years ago, King Rama V, they realized that there was a need to have some roads around this area, because we're just behind this building here is actually the Chao Phraya River. So the Song Wat Road runs parallel. So there was a need because of this area was really bustling and busy with a lot of Chinese immigrants. A lot of migrants came here to do a lot of the labour, but there was also a lot of products and produce being traded as well. So this area around here became so busy because it was also around the same time where it was the invention of the steam-generated ships. So it went from the junks, the Chinese. So there was a transition from the Chinese junks to these big ships, so that means river transportation was really key to Bangkok and that around that time. So there was a need for this road to be built. So there was actually a couple of roads. So this one's called Song Wat, which literally means drawn by the king, because this is what the road, how he actually mapped it out. And just over my shoulder, just behind me, we're going to get there in a minute, is Ratchawong Pier, which was really busy back in the day. That was the main pier where people and products used to come and go all day and all night. And then if we go down Ratchawong Road, that runs perpendicular from the Chao Phraya River, we'll end up at Yaowarat Road and Charoen Krung Road as well. So Charoen Krung, Yaowarat and Song Wat Road are running somewhat parallel to each other, and they're running parallel to the Chao Phraya River. So these are some important roads just to get your get your bearings here in Chinatown. So as you wander around Song Wat Road here, you'll find plenty of examples of old shop houses. So on one side of the road there's quite a few of the 3-story shop houses, and on the other side of the road there's a lot of the 2-story shop houses. And they've still got these magnificent signs above them as well. Some are being updated and renovated. There's some funky cafes in some of them now. But a lot of them are still just look like they did. Definitely Vespa City around here. Some of them still had that same kind of old charm and characteristics that they did 100 years ago. So if you're into architecture, this is a fantastic road for you to explore on. Also, if you like some old retro style sign writing, this is also a cool place for you as well. Back in the early days of Chinatown, you can just imagine all the people rushing around, bringing produce from the local pier and stuff, so zigzagging their way down all of these alleys. And you can't help but kind of, with a bit of imagination, kind of put yourself back in that time and period, because it is still pretty chaotic and busy, and there's people carrying boxes, and there probably wouldn't have been any, well, I know for sure there wouldn't have been the tuk-tuks and the motorcycles, but bicycles, those kind of 3-wheel rickshaw samlo type things as well. But you can't help but imagine what things were like back in the ye old days here in the early period of Chinatown, when immigration was just starting to kind of explode, and a lot of Chinese were arriving and trade was starting to happen. Now this is also the period before the Low-Ring Treaty was signed, so trade with other countries wasn't actually legally allowed at the time. So you can see Chinatown here. There's a lot of Chinese in Thailand. And part of this video series was actually tracing back to the early days of Chinatown and the rise of the Chinese population here in Thailand. So an appropriate title for this video is probably What to Do in Chinatown, in Bangkok's Chinatown. So in this video, I'm going to give you a few pointers about where to walk, what to do, what to eat, what to see, what to smell, and point out all sorts of other things so you can really enjoy your Chinatown tourist experience. So now I'm just about at Ratchawong Pier. So let's go and have a look at Ratchawong Pier and imagine what it was like back in the ye old days. Whoops, someone's behind me. along here. Got a belt shop, got a dude fixing motorcycles, shoe shop, snacks, steam buns, got a fruit stand here, and that guy over there with these white coolers, he's selling fresh crabs. So walking down Ratchawong Road from Ratchawong Pier, you'll end up getting yourself to Sampeng Market, which is our next stop on Luke's day trip of Chinatown. So this is Sampeng Market, and you can get everything here. Braziers, fake nails, lanyards. I'm going to put my mask on here, it's a bit too crowded. Fake jewelry, handbags, undies, containers for alcohol spray. Chinatown has got everything. Everything you need and more. Cute little dog here, some pajamas, handbags. Hello dog. If you don't like crowds, then maybe this place is not for you. Success. Got myself a new hat. Didn't know I needed a hat, but thanks to Chinatown, got myself a new hat from the Sampeng Market. Look at me go. Look out, ladies. So I've just got out of Sampeng Market. It's massive. Interesting thing, it's chock-a-block with people. It's actually a little bit cool in there, surprisingly. And I think the reason is that some of the shops have air conditioning units and their doors are completely open. So it's actually quite fresh in there. Very good in shopping experience indeed. But if you're the kind of person that doesn't like a busy place, then don't go there. You're going to go nuts. Fortunately, I found quite a few little treats for my daughter. My daughter is 10 years old, so I found a few little knickknacks to give to her. It's pretty easy. If you're shopping for kids, Sampeng Market is definitely the place you can find anything and everything. And now I'm out in the sun here. I feel very cool. Not only temperature, but just the way I look, because I've got my new hat on. I feel like the boss with this hat. So I enjoyed my shopping experience. Now we're heading to Talat Kao, another market. Is the next stop on Luke's day trip to Chinatown. So this is Ratchawong Road, and in the night time, and I mean not just night time, I mean the wee hours of the morning, this street here becomes a massive market. I came here a couple of months back, and I was here at like 2 a.m. It goes from about midnight till 5 a.m. So any time of day or night, you want to go experience some Chinatown markets, you can do it here at Sampheng. Parking attendants in Thailand love their whistles. I'm walking down Yaowarat Road now, which is nicknamed Dragon's Road. It's also nicknamed Gold Street because this road in particular has over 130 gold shops. And they are everywhere. If you want to get yourself some gold, then this is the road to come. Yaowarat Road. So I'm heading down Yaowarat Road, and again, this is just indicative of Chinatown. The pavements are filled with activity, shops and life, food and blokes blowing whistles and families on motorcycles. So much to see around here and smell as well. So I'm heading to Talat Kao, and I think I've just found it. Let's go and look at Talat Kao. That's the next stop on Luke's Chinatown tour. Sure, it's always bloody hot in Bangkok, and today is no exception. Fortunately, there's plenty of ways to cool down, like buying a bag of freshly cut pineapple that's been sitting in ice. So time for a little sweet treat. Found a little spot here to rest in the shade and enjoy my Sampeng. So just keep in mind, my videos that I'm making, I'm actually new to Bangkok. So these videos are kind of like a discovery for me. So apologies if I pronounce things wrong or get some of my directions or information slightly off. I'm trying my best, and that's all part of the discovery journey. So as I learn and as I discover things, that's what I'm sharing on my videos. So Chinatown, that's a lot to discover here, and I've really been enjoying exploring the streets of Chinatown. Every time I come here, I find something new and learn something new. It's a wonderful place if you're into discovery and adventure. It actually looks like a theatre. Sampeng Goldsmith. So if you look at the bottom area, the shop area, it does look like a foyer of an old cinema. Phenomenal building, amazing. Anyway, I am looking for a little cool drink. Got a bit of a sweat up today, as I always do when I'm traveling around Bangkok. So I've made it to the market. This is Talat Kao, and smell, you can't believe the smells here. This smells like a real Chinatown here. Chinese herbs, the dried fruits, dried squid, Chinese dates, all this fermented vegetables. Yes, this smells and feels like real Chinatown. We've got some chopsticks for sale. All these Chinese herbs. Chinese green teas, of course. Some moon cakes. If you're hungry, you could get something to eat here as well. A really cool spot here. This is the next stop on Luke's Chinatown tour, Talat Kao. So we just had a little walk down Talat Mai and Talat Kao. Now, translation literally means new market. Now, that market there is over 200 years ago, 200 years old. So I don't think the name is quite accurate. But I tell you what, the sights and the smells down that market are really, really wonderful. If you've ever been to China, it's a well-known fact that smells evoke memories. So I was having a lot of memories of China as I wandered down that market there. Now that market sells teas, there's a wet market there as well, so there's some food, meats and fish, that kind of thing is sold there. But there's also a lot of incense and also paper effigies as well that people buy because they want to burn them and send them to family and friends that have passed away. So it's a really character-filled market. So that's why I put it on one of the places you must visit if you're wandering around Chinatown. Now over here we have the Leng Buai Shrine. Now apologies if I've said that incorrectly. As I said, I'm new to Thailand, I'm new to Bangkok, so I'm going to get a few things wrong. But let's go and explore this little shrine here, which is right in the heart of Chinatown. Shrine in this Chinatown area.
It dates back to the Ayutthaya period, which is over 300 years old. Many businessmen come here to pray for good fortune. A very popular shrine, this one. Not to mention very impressive architecture, the way the wooden roof is suspended and the intricate carvings in the ceiling. And beautiful colours as well. This is really a nice spot. This here is a gift from King Rama V. No, not the drum. No, not the feather duster, the bell. This bell is from King Rama V. Dragons guarding the entrance, either side. Dragons in Chinese culture represent strength, prosperity, wealth, and many businessmen come here to this shrine to pray for those things, but they also pray for strong business connections. Businessmen in Asian countries, business connections are everything. So this is where they come. So hopefully they get those good business connections. Okay, next stop on Luke's Chinatown tour, we're going to Wat Mangkon. Now, Wat Mangkon is actually one of the names of the main metro stations here in Chinatown. So if you're coming to Chinatown as a tourist, that's probably one of the stops that you could get off at. So we're actually going to visit the Wat, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, or first of all learn about that Wat, and then I'll explain it to you once I have my new information. Anyway, we're going to drive back into this cool market. I might get myself some tea. There's the teas here in this market. Talat Kao smell particularly fragrant, so I might buy myself some tea. I do love drinking tea, especially in this hot Thailand environment. Found Bangkok's largest pot noodle shop. This actually has a massive collection of pot noodles, so I found it. It actually looks like a nice display there. Anyway, I'm not here for noodles. I'm here for a drink. What do we got here? Let's find myself a cool drink. Arrived to Wat Mangkon. This is the MRT station. So this was it was a fairly new addition to the Bangkok landscape, this railway station, this underground station, and I'm wondering what they knocked down to make it happen. Anyway, there's no slowing progress when it comes to Bangkok. So I've arrived here, and now I'm looking for the actual Wat. So there is a Wat here that this rail station is named after, so I'm going to see if I can find that. In the meantime, I'm also going to admire some of the very interesting architecture. Look at the wires on this place, and then we look over the road there, some of these magnificent three-story shop houses which are all over Chinatown. Some are old and decrepit, some have been renovated. I really love looking at those shop houses. Dreams to own one of these shop houses, 2-story or 3-story. I'd love to keep like the original architecture as intact as possible. Right, look at this baby blue one here. Yeah, I'd love to keep as much of the original architecture, fittings, fixings as possible, while still trying to make it sound, structurally sound so it doesn't fall apart. Hang on, I've got to get off the road. Okay, traffic's gone now. So I'd like to get one of these shop houses, keep it original as possible while still making it structurally sound. And then down on the ground floor, I'd like to sell craft beer, fine whiskey, and also have live music. That's my dream. And live upstairs. Yeah, imagine living up top of that there. I'd love that. Anyway, I got a bit distracted there. Got a bit distracted dreaming. I was looking for Wat Mangkon, and it is down this way somewhere. Check out these cool shops here. Anyway, we're back on track now, heading towards the Wat. Now don't forget, getting lost and wandering off is all part and parcel of the Chinatown experience. So don't feel that you must... Shark fin? Oh, here we go, a bit of shark fin soup. Not supposed to do that. Anyway, and it goes in Chinatown. Back in the ye old days, seriously, this was the wild, wild west. This is where the opium dens were, brothels. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of shady business going on in this area. So just seeing a few shark fin is kind of like a big improvement, I guess. Still not good, but a big improvement to the activities that used to happen here in Chinatown. I'm at Wat Mangkon, and it's undergoing construction, and I was told by the man, no photography. So I'm going to have a look around, because this is an important part of Chinatown, but I'm going to put my camera away. Well, I just visited Wat Mangkon, and very, very impressive. Beautiful, beautiful images there. Quite an active temple there. A lot of people giving offerings and saying prayers in there. Very, very, very impressive. I definitely recommend that if you're doing a tour of Chinatown. It's undergoing some renovations at the moment, so they're trying to raise some funds, because they had a lot of photos in there of the place when it was flooded. I'm outside the gates now, that's why I'm filming. I wasn't allowed to film in there. And you can just see the building here. Yeah, really, really impressive. Anyway, next stop on Luke's Chinatown tour is Wat Kanikapon, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, it's most famous because it was financed from the money earned through prostitution. That's right, you heard correctly. So the funds that were collected by the madame, she used all these funds, and this was back in the good old days when Chinatown was full of opium dens and brothels. There was low class, medium class, and high class brothels. The madame, who was in charge of several brothels, she made a lot of money. She was very wealthy and used that money to finance this temple that we're about to visit now. First, I've just got to find it. The thing about Chinatown, it's never straightforward to find things, but there's just so much to see and do. Just got to keep your wits about you. You don't get hit by a motorcycle. It's an interesting little intersection. A lot of food available here. Might get a little bite. Intersection. We've got the police station over here, and just here we have Trok Issaranuphap. I probably said that wrong, but please forgive me. I've only lived in Bangkok for a short time, but that's a really cool alley, and we're going to go down there pretty shortly. Loads of food, things for sale, food and snacks and things for sale down there. Now, just over the fence is Wat Mangkon. That's where we just toured. And now just behind here is Wat Kanikapon, which was the temple that was built on the funds from ladies of ill repute. Let's go and have a look at that. Two things I really like about this temple is that, first and foremost, the main Ubosot looks really ancient. Like, I've seen a lot of temples in Bangkok and in particular Chinatown, and they're very gold. They look like there's a lot of upkeep, but also because of the connection to China, gold is the feature, and they're very well built. Whereas this temple here does look a bit like old and rustic. I really like it. The paint's kind of faded. It's got a lot of character. And the second thing I really like about it is how active this is as well. I like going to ancient places that are still thriving and being used for the purpose they were intended those many, many years ago. So this was built around the period of King Rama V. And I really like it. It's one of my most favourite temples I've seen so far. Now, I haven't even been inside yet, so let's go inside and have a look. today's lesson: don't judge a book by its cover. As I was approaching this ubosot, I thought, wow, this is cool. I really love the rustic nature. Can't wait to get inside. My favorite temple of all time. Once I got inside, it's not my favorite temple of all time. I like it. I really like it. But it's not my favorite temple of all time. I got a bit carried away, shot my mouth off, so please forgive me. Still very cool temple. Definitely worth a stop, and that's why I've included it in Luke's Chinatown tour. Okay, next stop is, where are we going? Can't remember. I'm gonna have to check my guide. Something I've just learned about temples: the difference between a vihan and an ubosot. Now, ubosot is an ordination hall, and you can tell an ubosot by these baisima. There should be 8 of these placed around the ubosot, the ordination hall. There's actually 9 of these stones. 8 are placed around the building, and the 9th one is actually buried within the ubosot, underneath it in the foundations of the ubosot. And now the vihan, which is one of the buildings we were just beside, right next to it, that is like considered a prayer hall, and they do not have the baisema stones around. There's a bit of a tradition as well. These are also kind of a resting places for traveling monks. They could stay in the vihan. They did not stay in the ubosot. So, here ends my lesson in the temples of Thailand. Okay, we've got 3 more stops on Luke's Chinatown tour. Next thing I'm going to find is a place called Berlin Pharmaceuticals. So it's another maybe a 5-minute walk. Then there's 2 other stops. After I finish the tour, we're going to end the tour with the reflection time and a beer. I'm just reading the plaque out the front here. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Really cool in Bangkok. We've got these brown signs. Car coming. They've got these brown signs. Any kind of like a historical point, they've got a little brown sign. They give you a little bit of information. I really like that about Bangkok. Just got to get this out of the road of this car, and then I'll tell you what the meaning behind the name of this temple. Okay, now we're kind of ready. So let me read. Whoops. Tight little corner here. Wat Kanikapon. Wat Kanikapon, the meaning behind that, and this was actually not the original name. This was renamed by one of the kings, King Rama V, and the meaning is built from the profits of prostitution. How about that? Legend. Okay, team, get together. We need to find a new name for this temple. Something catchy, something memorable, something meaningful. What is this temple all about anyway? How was it built? From the profits of prostitution. I got an idea for a name. Let's call it Temple Built from the Profits Earned from Prostitution. Great name, King Rama IV. Great name. Let's lock it in. So on our way to Berlin Pharmaceuticals, we're going to go down Trok Issaranuphap, which is a really cool little soil with lots of food. It's interesting being hall in Thailand. You've got to look out for awnings. Little 7-Eleven stop. Everyone's favourite shop because the air conditioning is so nice and cool in here. And it's quite rare to find one with some tables and chairs. Anyway, I bought myself a little drink to cool off with. 7-Elevens are ubiquitous in Thailand. So much so that my daughter, she's turning 10, she's 10, and for a few years now I've asked her, what do you want to do when you get older? What do you want to be? Number one is a YouTuber, but her backup plan is work at a 7-Eleven. And with her birthday coming up, I found the perfect gift. 7-Eleven hat. I think she'll come in. เข้าไปถึงตลาดกลางที่ให้บริการเยอะค่ะร้านอาหารก็เป็นกลุ่มหนึ่งกับ
surprise, I got my own guided tour. Very lovely lady talked me through all the different exhibits here, and it was well worth the 50 baht I spent visiting Berlin Pharmacy. And that's another stop on Luke's Chinatown tour. So I'd recommend this little spot here. It's very informative, very nice, a very nice experience learning about Berlin Pharmaceuticals, their origin. Now they're actually still in existence today. So they're one of the pharmaceutical suppliers here in Thailand, but they also supply drugs to Laos and some of the other neighbouring countries. So it's a very good little stop here. I like it. Okay, time to move on. We've got our second last stop, which is one more temple, nicknamed the Crocodile Temple. Then after the Crocodile Temple, we're going to finish up at Klong Ong An, find ourselves a cheeky little beer and reflect on the day. Oh yes, I did get a nice little bag from my trip to Berlin Pharmaceutical. Perfect to hold my cool drink bottles and umbrella. It's very common for it to rain here, and hang on, what the hell is this? Look at this thing. So many interesting things in Chinatown. Anyway, one more temple stop, and it's down here somewhere. So, just finished at the Berlin Pharmaceutical, and I did find myself a shop to buy a moo. So if you're in the market for a moo, I know the spot. Contact me in the comment section and I'll tell you the location. Yeah, now it's about 10 minutes after my visit to Berlin Pharmaceutical. I've reflected on that little outing, and I think it's pretty lucky to make it to Luke's Chinatown tour. It's not that great, but it's kind of en route, so it's a nice stop, but it's not really, it doesn't make it on my Chinatown hit list, if I'm to be perfectly, brutally honest. The next stop on the walking tour today, the day trip around Chinatown, is Wat, now I need help to say this, Wat Chawat, I don't know, here it is here. Why are we here? First and foremost, this temple has crocodiles. But also it's got a has some significant historical value as well, so which I'll tell you about in a minute. First and foremost, where are these crocodiles? Oh, I see him. It is kind of weird to have crocodiles in a temple. Now I've heard two reasons why they have crocodiles at this temple. First reason is to attract people. Well, I'm guilty there. They got me in because of the crocodiles. But the second reason, which I like, is back in the ye old days, they found a crocodile here at the temple, because this temple here is right next to the Chao Phraya River. So a crocodile swam from the Chao Phraya River and made its way up onto land to the temple. So they just kind of kept it, and ever since then they've just kept crocodiles. But I can't help it, it still does seem a bit weird. I can see 4 crocodiles, but the most weird one is there's a fake crocodile. And I think, if memory serves, that's the original one. That is the first crocodile that's been now stuffed, and it's there on display. That's the one, the original that started the trend.
been paying attention? Quick quiz time. What is this stone? What does it represent? How many of them are there? Write in the comments for your prize, your chance to win a prize. A new hat from Sampeng Market. Be your prize. You can tell me what those stones are all about in the comments section. I don't know why there's a horse here. Going to a cathedral or a temple, and that they're still active, particularly old historical sites. This one, sadly, the only real activity that's going on at the moment is it's providing car parking space for people who want to shop in Chinatown, and most of the prayer halls are actually closed. There's one that's open here. I'll go and have a closer look at that. Yeah, it's kind of odd. It's got the crocodiles, and then it's got this weird cave feature. I don't feel a deep sense of spirituality wandering around here with crocodiles and weird caves and lots of cars. It's not a very spiritual experience here. Nonetheless, we weren't here to achieve enlightenment. We're here as a tourist, because that's the theme of the day. Well, that was beautiful in there. So really amazing Buddha images, and the murals, the artwork on the wall was absolutely wonderful. Really amazing. I was having a bit of a spiritual moment there. Then all of a sudden the monk that was in there just started playing on his phone with the volume up really high. It's kind of ruined the spiritual nature of it, because he was flipping through Facebook watching films with the volume on maximum. Just did ruin the spiritual experience for me a little bit. But nonetheless, this temple here is absolutely magnificent. It's definitely worth a visit here, and that's why it's on my day trip tour of Chinatown. So as I put my shoes on leaving the temple, we're going to go to Klong On An. We're going to get there when the sun goes down, so it's going to be a perfect spot to get some dinner and have a beer and reflect on the day. Now, Chinatown, if I was to do it a complete service, I would be going out for dinner at one of the fantastic Chinese restaurants, and then be going out for some cocktails and beers at areas like Soi Dana, which is near Hua Lampong station. However, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to make another video that focuses on just the food of Chinatown, and I'm going to make another video that's going to focus just on the nightlife, the cocktail bars. And I'm going to start on the Chao Phraya River at some places there, and then work my way all the way back and finish up at Soi Nana. So that's a video that I'm going to make in the future. So that's why I'm cutting this episode short just after we finish having a look around Klong Ong An. So Klong Ong An is the last stop on Luke's Chinatown tour. So leaving the temple, heading now to, hang on, there's another temple here I need to have a look at. Really love the temple colour scheme here. Not often you see this kind of a pinky colour, pink and white. It looks really, really beautiful. Kind of a peach colour. Yeah, it's really nice. What's even more wonderful about this temple, there's no one destroying the ambience by having their phone on videos at full volume. It's actually very nice and peaceful, except for the motorcycle noises. It's Chinatown. Pretty hard to get a peaceful moment in Chinatown. So that's not why you visit Chinatown. You don't visit Chinatown for peace and tranquility, you visit it for action. And that's what it's provided today for all of us. It's nice. Okay, so heading to Klong Ong An now for a little unwind, look at some of the street art there, have a little snack and a drink. So I've had a great day out exploring Chinatown. I hope you enjoyed travelling with me, enjoying the experience. So we've seen a lot of things over my two days. But if you're one of my guests, if you're a family or friend coming to Bangkok and you said, Luke, I want to show me around Chinatown, well, part 1 and part 2 is exactly what I do in the daytime. I'll give you a little smattering of markets, a bit of history, a little bit of artwork, talk about architecture, dodge some cool old Vespers, buy a souvenir, of course. No trip to Chinatown's complete without a souvenir or two. What else did we do? We'd also finish with a night. We'd also finish without having a beer or a cocktail at one of the fancy places here in Chinatown.